This is English Help Desk, and I'm Daniel. Today, some study tips. Studying English is not always the most fun of activities, even if you are passionate about the subject. If you are studying from books alone, you are probably not giving yourself the best experience, and let's face it, books go into some subjects that maybe are not that interesting for you or don't cover the topic in the way that you want it to be covered. So, today, we are looking at some study tips that can really help you improve your English and help you engage with English in ways that will suit you. Now, if you have only just begun to study English, then for beginners, you need to memorize. You need to memorize a lot. And this is maybe when study books are at their most useful. However, the best way to learn English is to use English. This goes for students of every level, regardless of how much you understand or can say. I will explain more at the end, but here are some suggestions of how to use English. If you can, speak English with a friend who is also learning English in your free time, or a native English speaker. It can often be the scariest way of learning English, and it certainly exposes your level, but it really raises your confidence when you begin to realize that people don't care about your level or your mistakes, but are actually listening to your message. If that's not possible, go to a chat forum that talks about something that you are interested in, and if you feel brave, participate in the conversation. Write comments on social media sites. Many websites want people to leave comments. So, go to something that you are interested in and leave a comment. A nice comment. That's why I always ask you to leave a comment here. Leaving a comment means becoming part of a community. Less scary ways to use English are: listen to podcasts. This is a great way to practice listening, and there is a podcast for every subject that you can think of. Even some English language lessons. Watch English language TV, films, or YouTube. One person I know watches a TV show 3 times. The first 2 times with subtitles, and then a 3rd time without the subtitles. If you are watching a film, maybe it will help you to watch the film in smaller chunks, 10 or 20 minutes, following the same process. Be a bit more careful with YouTube. Although you may find a subject that interests you, the subtitles are not always reliable. But then, maybe you can have fun looking for the mistakes in the subtitles. And of course, you don't even have to use subtitles if you don't want to. Listen to music. With music, it's so easy to find lyrics online to read along to as you listen to the song. And a good song is something that you will want to listen to again and again and again. Write a journal. Don't correct it or show it to anyone. Just write for 5 or 10 minutes a day about anything that you want to write about. It's like practicing a sport or a computer game. People won't see your mistakes, but just the effort of practicing means that when you do speak with others, they can see your improvements, not the hours that you put in. After a few months, look back at your first entry to see how much you have improved. You will surprise yourself. Read. Read books, magazines, newspapers. Go online and read. There are billions of articles or blogs online, so finding something that interests you and is at a level that you can deal with will not take long. This is a great way to learn new words and grammar. Just studying and memorizing word lists doesn't work. You will forget, because you are not using these new words in grammar. If you read, you can see how grammar is being used. When you find a new word, you can see how it's used. The sentence the word is in gives it a context. In a word list, you just get a definition. When reading, you get to see the word a few times and you can see each time how the word is used, and if the meaning is a bit different each time, or if it is exactly the same each time. Now use those new words as much as you can. Write sentences, or find a way to include those new words in your journal or conversations with people. The more you use a word, the less likely you will be to forget. Building a context for a word makes it easier to remember than just a straight translation, because then you are having to remember two words: the word in English and what it means in your own language. But what does all this mean? You've been studying English for years maybe, and you've put so many words in your head. But when you speak, maybe you can only find a few words. Let's have a look at it like this. The words in your head is like you being in a new city. All the words are places you can go. You know there are places you can go, but you don't know where they are. You go to work or school from home every day. That route becomes familiar very quickly. This is your basic English. One day you want to go to the park. The first time it takes you a long time and maybe you get lost. But you find the park and want to travel there again. Soon, this route also becomes familiar. Before long, you are exploring the city. You can go from home to the park, to store, to work. You make all of these connections just like the English words in your head. If you can't speak English, then using English in some of the ways I have just said is better than not using any English. The most important thing is to have fun with English. When you are speaking with your friend, who is also learning English, or a partner in class, talk to them in English like you are talking with your friend outside of class or study group. Make jokes, say silly things. Talk like you are talking to your friend normally. English can be a boring subject, but you are allowed to make it interesting, whatever the topic. Maybe you can challenge yourself by saying the opposite of what you think and find new words to say. Follow the English you are interested in learning. English about things that you like is easier because you are more interested and naturally want to talk about these subjects. If you are not interested in business, for example, then don't study business English, because now you are studying two difficult subjects. If just studying alone was enough, then students who have studied for 10 years should be teaching me. As a teacher, I do my best to provide spaces in class to allow students to use English to actually get the English back out of their heads. And it's up to you to find spaces in your life when you can use English in the same way. Everyone learns differently and has different techniques. So please let me know what some of your ideas and suggestions are to study English well in the comments below. And remember to like this video, share this video and subscribe to the English Help Desk channel. I'll be back very soon with another video. Until then, bye bye.